teach over here the gospel of what? Responsibility. The gospel of what? Responsibility. If you said it, own it. If you did it, own it. You was there, own it. We do not teach victimhood over here. We do not teach that someone's going to take you away, the black man, the Chinese man, the white man, this, not the government. You are responsible for what comes out of your mouth and your actions. So the gospel of responsibility became real. But what I love is that the collective community of men and women came together and say, brother, this is your own Kappa Alpha Psi Brother Incorporated that you are talking about. And you misspoke about what you said about him. And you're in the same city. Let's hold you accountable. Let's say you need to readjust what you said. You need to address this correctly. Did you ever think that this man had a daughter, that he had a mother, that he had family that he had to deal with? That has to deal with the loss of what? Of their son, of their father. This is the gospel of responsibility. As this is unapologetically a man's channel. We have women here, and I'm working on something on behind the scenes because some things I can't share on YouTube. But with the gospel of responsibility or accountability, you realize that you got to own up to your own sugar, honey, iced tea. You have to, and I'm going to show a video of what he said this Sunday. But you got to own up to your own, what you say and what you do. Now, the interesting thing, he stepped up to bat and became responsible for what he said. But I noticed a lot of others did not do it. Insert Vivica Fox. Insert other ones who wanted to malign the character of this man. And please don't come over here talking about he's your daddy, he's your father, and I have a dad. I had uncles, I had cousins, so don't even come in that crap over here. Don't got time for it. But what you can do is learn from what this man did and what he said. Both men. Jamal had to eat the crow that he gave out. He had to humble himself and say, I was wrong. I misspoke in what I said. And when you become accountable, that's what first, because this is a men's channel, that's what men first must do. Become accountable for what they say and what they do. Stop blaming the women. If you belly aching about women and what they ain't doing this for me, they ain't doing that, and you can't get right, they don't like me, you in the wrong place. This is about accountability. So as much as I know a lot of people have problems with the church as a whole, or we can bring it down a little bit further, the black church, this man, I have to give him his flowers now, stepped up and say, let me be accountable for what I said. Let me be accountable for what came out of my mouth and I misspoken. I said something I should not have said. I was being insensitive. I was thinking potentially about the parishioners in my congregation and not thinking about the what? The collective community. Sometimes we say things and we misspeak, as in the case of Pastor Jamal Bryant. And in his misspeaking, he now had to re-speak the truth of what he should have said. Sometimes it's wise to check your sources and to check before you open up your mouth. Before you say anything, you need to be very accountable of what you say. And I think this was a learning lesson for the community at large, or for men and women. Now, I haven't heard all the men who are on the breast milk and all the women who are mad at this particular individual called Kevin. I haven't heard you step up and make a video and say, you know what? I misspoken in what I said. I didn't consider his mother. I didn't consider his daughter. I didn't consider his family. I ain't seen the video yet. I didn't see you come out and apologize. I was wrong. See, people don't want this kind of gospel responsibility because they rather play the victim. Like the young lady who made up a whole GoFundMe account. A whole GoFundMe account, what? To say that she felt victimized by when she came on Kevin's show and he told her the truth. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. You can't make this up. So this tells me that we as a society cannot handle the raw, unadulterated truth. Tongue-tied here. But when we had to face looking in the mirror and say, I see myself. That's why we teach the gospel responsibility. There's no one out there but you. If you have a problem with somebody else, you need to look at you. If they're getting on your nerves, it's you. If it's irritating, it's you. But most people want to say it's the statistics. It's this one, it's that one, it's this, and this stopping me. Ain't no one stopping you but you. This is what the gospel of responsibility and accountability is all about. You can't come over here to the thinking class and think you're just going to fly off the mouth. And I need to say this. Young lady who wrote that in the chat room about that women are God and hope the same or wish the same thing don't happen to you that happened to Kevin, had to come back and eat what she said and ask, can I take down the video? What happened with all the strength that you had when you were in the video? When you were making your comments and you wouldn't let go? So it's interesting. When you hold people accountable, they have two or one things to do. They can either hold on to the lie or they're going to have to embrace the truth of what they said was incorrect. Now, if you want to see the video of what I'm talking about, where Pastor Jamal made his complete apology for what he said, I need you to put a number 2 in the chat room. You want to see the video up on the screen? Pastor Jamal made his complete apology for what he said and what he said about Kevin Samuels. This is how you become accountable. Let me know. Put a number 2 in the chat room. And I'm going to talk also about the black church. Don't get it twisted. I come from the black church. 3 generations in, baby. 3 generations in. I know. I didn't see the good, bad, and put another. I need to see some more 2s. You want to see the video where he corrected himself. He said, you know what? Let me correct myself. There you go. There you go. There you go. There we go. Where we go. So let me get this set up here. I feel like I'm somebody. I ain't going to say who. Let's do this. Let's get it set up. But yeah, so it's the gospel of responsibility. The gospel of what? Responsibility. Let's go here. And we are going to, LDA, you have been speaking over the clips. LDA, you'll have to speak over the clip for copyright. I definitely will do that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So they don't ding me for copyright. Let's see here. We got that going. So we definitely would do that. If you want to see the video, let me go to the video right quick so they don't ding your brother. Let's do this. Go here. Let's go here.
Is that there's several principles that we've got to give our children, and I'm
gonna get to there we go, to the screen. There we go. All right. Let's do this. We're about to go. Here we go. I love technology. Woo! There we go.
There's several principles that we've got to give our children, and I want to express them aloud for just one moment. The sound of your offense, hear this,
Yep.
the sound of your offense
Yep.
should be the same volume of your apology.
There it is. That's it. Sound of your what?
Sound of your offense
Got to be what?
should be at the same volume of your apology.
That's it. That's
so
it.
if you did something wrong out loud, then don't apologize to me with a whisper.
That's it. That's the truth.
I can't
right
hear
there.
anybody in here.
That's it.
I'm going to take just one moment. I want to take a moment. Last week, while we were in worship, I made a reference to now deceased public critic and public intellectual about relationships, Brother Samuels.
That's how you do
As
it.
a consequence, later information came forth that what it is that I said was incorrect. This place is a place of truth. Everything that I say from this place must be a place of truth.
That's how you do
as it represents the gospel of God.
Okay.
I don't care whether you are a pastor, a bishop, or a postman. When you are wrong, you have to own when you are wrong.
That's true.
And so not in a quiet place, but from the same pulpit in which I said it, I wanted to address it.
Good.
Everybody wants to be an adult until it's time to apologize.
Facts.
I am a full-grown adult, and I take full accountability of everything that I say and everything that I do. So I wanted to take a moment and apologize to the Samuels family. I wanted to apologize to the larger community. I wanted to apologize to my noble brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Hear this, because an apology is only messed up if you match it with an excuse. Apologies do not come with an excuse. An apology comes with ownership. And I want to make a very clear lesson and indication: when people hold you accountable, that does not make them a hater. When people hold you accountable, that means they have expectation for what it is that you ought to be doing and how you ought to function and how you ought to flow. This week, I got a whole lot of people that want to help me be accountable. And I want to thank them for helping me to be a better person. I'm so thankful that God ain't finished with me yet. I don't do everything that I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it. But repentance means there is a change of behavior. So as a consequence, I want to say to you, watch me grow, watch me do better, and watch me represent the body of Christ at a much higher level than what I've done before. If I've let you down, it was never my intention. If I've dishonored you, never my intention. You felt disrespected, never my intention. My intention every time I stand is for God to be glorified and for the people to be equipped. Now, let's go do the work of Jesus Christ and do what it is that God has called us to do. There's several principles that we've got to.
So this was an excellent example, and I see what you said, brother. See what you said. All right, let's see if this goes viral. You know this is not going to go viral. This is not going to go viral. This not going to go viral. All right, what was really going on with this apology? I smell a rat. Right. You know that this is not going to go viral. What went viral was what he said initially. We do not value when someone apologized or when he was held accountable this week. I have to commend the greater men and women who say, Pastor Jamal, how dare you say this about this man? And you misspoken. I have to say, you know what? Kudos. We need to, do you understand the power? If we can hold him accountable, how much more do we hold other people accountable who have misspoken and have spoken from a place of untruth? We came together and people got on his head. They was tap dancing on his head like they was Ben Perrine, or they was Catman. Y'all don't know. You're too old for you. Too old. I'm too old for that, but y'all don't know. But they was tapped down they tapped down on his hand, on his head. They were going on his head. They was letting him have that heat. I mean, that's what we need to do. We see the collective power when something was not spoken correctly. We say, brother, that's not right. Oh my God, that's not right. You're saying you're misspoken, mother. But what happens is we let too many things slide because we're afraid that we're going to offend someone. We're afraid that if we say something about this, they're going to have an issue with it. So that's the real issue that will happen on here. He was whole responsible for what he said, not only to himself, but to his brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. Do you know that this brother was a brother in the same organization that you were in? And you misspoken about him? You need to step up, and you are a public figure just as well as this other man is. You have a public platform that touches thousands of people. You need to step up and say, hey, know what? Hey, I'm wrong, bruh. Because once the community and the media begin to pull the cord, like you said, pull your sheets back, they expose everything about Pastor Jamal. Whatever, everything, the color of his socks to what ring he have on and what suit he gonna wear the next day. They expose everything. So you want to say this about this? How dare you take a stone and throw it in this man, and you live in a glass house? But that's all of us. That is all of us. Don't think so. That's so interesting when I hear people come on this channel and other channels. Well, he said this, Kevin said this, and Kevin did this, and he did this. But when we look at your house, it's raggedy, tore up. The couch got holes in it. The bed got pea spots in it. Everything jacked up. You don't want to look at your sugar honey iced tea, but it's easier to throw stone at somebody else. Let somebody form the same stone that you throwing at them and throw it at someone else. Thank you, John. Just stepped in. The only reason why he apologized, he was being criticized, not because he thought it was right and wrong. There it is. Because he still feel that, because you got to understand his community, or where he preaches at, is predominantly women. If he would have admitted that he had to be corrected from everyone else, I'll accept it. Oh boy, y'all done stirred it up. Y'all done stirred it up. So was the apology genuine, or was it from a place because everybody didn't tap dance on his head? Because everybody say, bruh, you better deal with this. The thing was, and that's a good point, Jono, he never addressed what he said was incorrect. So it was a smooth, like you get a cake and you got the cake and you put the icing on there. It's a cool icing over it. Now, I commend him for saying something about it, but he never addressed the real issue. What he was saying was it was an issue about what Kevin has said about someone being past a certain age being left over. Just think about it. What's going on, Monica Cooper? What was incorrect? So what was correct was he apologized because everybody was on top of his head. But the thing that needs to look at is this. Did he apologize about what he said that made reference to the whole spin-off about leftover? And we talked about that last week, about what this leftover mean, what age. And I found the age is 27 in the Asian countries. 27. If you pass the age of 27, they look at you as a leftover. So when that concept came over into where United States, oh baby, I ain't no leftover. I got this good stuff. Here, man, a man to do anything. That's what the issue is. So he had to say that for what? His congregation, because his congregation is predominantly what? Women. And then two, he had to apologize. Why? Because he had to get the heat off of him. Y'all know that about get the heat off of y'all. He had to get the heat off of you. What's going on, King Osha? You got to get the heat off of you. Because if he did not say nothing, baby, they was about to drag him for a whole nother week. a whole nother day. They were going to take him and hang him up to dry. So I will say that the correction, the thing he said to apologize about what he said about Kevin and his attack about them, okay. But the issue that I have is the issue about, did he correct what he said about women? He was really apologizing because there was no GoFundMe. And he said there was, trying to devalue a person's foundation for his platform. Uh-oh. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. You got the link, Brianna, right? I know I sent you the link. Yeah. He was trying to devalue a person's foundation for his platform. See, that's the slick thing that a lot of people try to do. That's the slick thing that people try to do. People will what? Try to do an uppercut and try to get you to make them look better than to make themselves look better and you look smaller. Jado, that seems to be how people are. Only because people get on him, did he apologize? In fact, Jado, I may be wrong, but I didn't believe him. Right. Because he never addressed the real issue. The woman, the whole issue about the leftover, and the GoFundMe, that he got a GoFundMe because he didn't have money. In reality, what? Kevin had money. I know all the reports, but this is the thing. The whole thing was to what? To come after and destroy the image of this particular black man. There's even been some phony stuff said by the nation that wasn't said by the Nation of Islam about Kevin Samuels. You see how we are quick, we are quick to destroy our own. We're quick to criticize those who what? Who say things. Oh man, gotta sneeze. So how was he using a GoFundMe to pay for his funeral when someone set that up? That shows the problem inside of our community. We looking to hustle after somebody else's death. Seen somebody on shout out to Osage Jackson. Somebody even put up got a whole account where they got a flower. I love Kevin Samuels, what the French toast, or wherever the case may be. That's why it's so important. And I've been thinking about this week. We must control our image. We must control our brand. We must control how our intellectual property is what? Taken care in this space. Because people don't care. They are thirsty. They're hungry. They broke. They don't want to go back to work. They lazy. Lazy. They lazy. They don't want to do nothing. If they can get a quick come up, they're looking for it. And it looked like Pastor Jamal was looking for a quick come up with what he said disparagingly about his own Kappa Alpha Psi brother. Looking for a quick come up. That's why it's so important. I'm emphasizing you must control your image. You must control your intellectual property. You must control how you are viewed in this world. Because if you don't control it, the world will control it, and they will say you are this while you are that. And most times you don't look at the lesson here. It was one lesson that's so important. It wasn't so much the outside people saying something. It was the people who was next to you, his own brother and his own fraternity. Do you see how powerful it was? And then it was another brother in the fraternity who corrected him, course corrected him. What was it? Bruh, we're in the same fraternity. Why would you say that about him? What you said is unfound. So we got to control our image. We got to control our intellectual property. We got to control what belongs to us. For years, and I'm saying this because it's so important. For years, we ain't caught the message. We haven't caught the message from record companies to how they have took the image and ran and made millions off of your image and what you do. They do it in sports, they do it in everywhere else. We must control the image of how we look. We must control our intellectual property. We must control everything. We must not only control it, we must own it. Because if the estate of Kevin Samuels decides to say, you know what, we want to sue you, Pastor Jamal, and New Birth, guess what's going to happen? They can, for defamation of what? Character. So you got to be careful. That's why it's so, I don't care what level you at, you must control what belongs to you. And the second thing that's so important, you must be accountable for the things that come out of your mouth, the actions that you take. Stop sitting around here thinking that you can just say, and somebody sent some stuff on me on YouTube recently. Really? And you had a run-on sentence, sister. And when I looked at your when I looked at your profile, I couldn't even see you. Don't come on here talking crazy if you can't take the heat. You don't come in here talking crazy if you can't take the heat. So you got to realize, yes, he apologized, but did he apologize for what was being said? Did he apologize for the misspoken about the GoFundMe? Because if you ever watched Kevin, I don't care if you watched 2 or 3 days, you watched that at the top of the super chats were going off crazy. Cash App was going off her. Just one day can pay for, just with 1 day of super chats, Cash Apps, and everything else could have paid for what? 2 or 3 people's funerals. Let me say that again. Just 1 day of super chats, Cash Apps, PayPals could have paid for his and a couple, 3 or 4, 5, 6 more people. That's how you got to be in touch. Do your research before you talk. Be accountable. When we get up here on this public platform, I'm accountable for what I say, and I got to be accountable for what I don't say that's incorrect. Course correction. I said this and this was wrong. But I thank the community. I thank the people who came together and held Pastor Jamal Bryant to the heat. They tied his feet up and put it to the heat. Why? Because you got to be careful what you say about your brother, because what you say about them can definitely turn to be said about you. What's going on, McCain? That's why it's so important. And then let me say this, because I think people miss this. This is why you and I can say it. I have every right, whatever. I have the right to say this. This is why the black man do not want to come to your black church. If you understand what I'm saying, put an amen in the chat room. This is why the black man does not want to come to the black church. If you understand what I'm saying, put an amen in the chat room. We do, because the first thing you're going to say, the hypocritical, look what he just did. Look what he just said. Look how they treated them. This is the reason. You agree with what I'm saying? Put an amen in the chat room. This black man going to be like, if he did that to Kevin, what would he do to me? If this church is doing that, this is what they're going to do to me. If they do that, I don't know. It has ran, and I've studied this for years. So don't come and say you don't know what he's talking about. I studied this for years. This is one of the reasons why the black man said, I'm gonna step back, bruh. I'm gonna step back from what y'all doing in here. That's why they think all the church is about what? About getting money. And everybody need money, so don't even try that. This is the reason why They're thinking, where's the accountability in the teaching? And Matt, thank you, Mama. The teaching in what? Masculinity in the church. I'm all for shouting, doing cartwheels. I'm all for that. I understand that. I grew up in it. Ooh, boy. See, y'all to make me open up this can of, you know what? If you're smart, you'll see the upcoming, you'll see the coming up. You invest in the very thing you are making the money from. Hence, you saw him buy cameras, equipment, suits, and watches. Right. Thank you. This is about Kevin. If you're smart and see the come up, you invest in the very thing you are making the money from. And hence, you saw him buy cameras, suits, and watches. He was investing back in himself. But this is the real issue right there. Where is the masculinity talk in the churches? This is where the problem that Kevin had, and I also had. Where are the people? Where's the singles ministry that actually gets singles to stop being singles and get into the marriage ministry? Where are the singles ministries that help the singles stop being single and get into the marriage ministry? Or are you just stuck in a constant loop of being in the singles ministry? We go do bowling, we go play tennis, we go to I'm about to say Barnes and Nobles, we go to this place, we go to outings, we go to Geauga Lake, we go to Six Flags. But when do you take the time out to say, hey, ain't you tired of being single? Ain't you tired of sinning? Why don't you say, hey, where did you go and be and find where is the teaching? Where is the teach? Where is the teaching to the men on masculinity, money, family, how to raise your sons and daughters? I'm not exempt. I'm just calling it out. This is the reason why, so you understand, the black man is running from the church. Why he thinks it's just a scam show. Wolves and what? Sheep's clothing. Why he doesn't like it. Wake up and understand the psychology of how men think. They think 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Think how you can now minister to your men to be better men, better fathers, better husbands. That's what's missing. And for the singles, there is, and I've seen it. I grew up in testimony service. They didn't testify. I'm running for my life, and Jesus. I understand all of that. Got no husband, turn mean as a rattlesnake, and nobody can deal with you. And there's a ton of what? Single women at the what? Church house. Ooh, boy, y'all don't want to. Ooh, boy, y'all don't. Oh boy, y'all don't want this heat today. Let me get this down. Also, folks, done always start from zero. Some people get debt and get a lot of bills from the past, and you can't buy a Ferrari and then you have the credit up. He admits that he was using his platform to get rich, and that means to be from the come up. He was not. Come on. So that's why I'm just saying. Oh boy, I ain't gonna even touch that one. I ain't gonna touch that one. That's why I ain't gonna touch this one. I ain't gonna touch that. I'm gonna let that one roll. That's what's missing. That is why the black man has ran away. From where? From what? The church. Where does he fit? Oh, you want to make him a deacon so he can run and cut the grass, take the offering, say amen when you need to say amen. Where does the black man fit in your church? Is he just security? Where is his place in your church? Has anyone heard of a relationship or a divorce? I ain't heard nothing. I'm trying to, where is this place? Is it that even in this case with Jamal and Kevin, we see that the men see this infighting amongst Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated brothers and say, I don't want to be a part of none of it. And then the real issue is this. This is what men are waiting for. Y'all ain't wait. You want put a number 3. This is what men are waiting for from the church, from the community, and everything else. Put a number 3 in the chat room. Put a number 3 in the chat room. Number 3, you want to hear what men are waiting from around the world. This is when they are waiting. This is what they are waiting for. They're waiting from you, pastor, prophet, teacher, bishop, everybody else, and from you community leaders. They're waiting for one thing. One thing. I need to see more 3s. These ain't enough 3s. Either Cash App 3, Super Chat 3, $3.33. Y'all need to. This is one thing that men are. This is what men are waiting. I don't care. This is what men are waiting on. They are waiting for you to do this one thing. Y'all need to get this. Every man is looking for this. I need to see one more 3 in the chat room. One more 3 in the chat room. This is the thing that men are. Thank you. This is what men are waiting for from the pastors, prophets, apostles, teachers, and community leaders, and from their women. They're waiting. When will you defend us? When will you stand up for us? When will you stand up for us? When will you say, hey, I got your back? I will not backstab you. I will not take your wife. I will not sleep with your wife. I will not do those things. When are you going to stand up for us? When are you going to allow us to have a voice? When are you going to really stand on us and not use us to be users because we are man, because we know how to cut lawns? When are you going to stand up for us as men? That's what men, I promise you. Men are saying, when are you going to stand up for us? Preachers, prophets, teachers, community leaders, all this rainbow coalition. You stand up for everybody else. But when you're going to stand up for us and allow us, let our voice be heard. That's why this whole manosphere, black manosphere, yellow, blah, 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 stand up is because guess what? We want to say, when you going to stand up for us? When you going to have our back? So what we do is we run to other lower things, vibrational things, because they stand up for us. What is that return value on provision and prevent? Thank you. When are you going to stand up for us? When are you going to say, when are you sisters are going to stand up for us? We seen, look how they did Kevin, and Kevin's no saint. He didn't do everything right. He's not blah, 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 blah. No one up here is. We all have flaws. We all fell short. But look at the attack where no one say, hey, it was people said, I'm going to stand up. When are you sisters going to really stand up for us? You, as my just wrote, you want our protection, you want our provision, but will you stand up with us when it comes to your sisterhood? When are you going to stand up when it comes to your sister? Are you going to pick your sisterhood or are you going to pick us? Are you going to stand up for us? I know it sounds like, why would I do that? But you want our provision, our protection, our leadership, our guidance. We need you to stand up for us. Then we can say, I got you, babe. I got you, boo. I'm with you, bruh. I got you. And ain't just, I got you, but it's like, I got you, we down. When are you going to stand up for us? The problem with Jamal and Kevin, Pastor Jamal apologized, but the real issue men are looking at is who got our back. Who has our back? Who's going to say, yeah? And when you're not careful, and I'm speaking to the black community, black church, and all you black, the black, the black, 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 the black, black, blue, the black, 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 black. I'm speaking to all y'all. You're not careful. Other races see this and say, look at these people. She doesn't even stand up for him, and he's not standing up for her. Why should we ever take them serious? Uh-oh, Andre said, oh boy, he said a lot of these pastors need to catch a fade, honestly. Oh boy. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Rachel. Pastor Jamal's wife came out about why she left the minister. See? Ex-wife. Yeah. So you got to understand. And then standing up, let me say this. When you're going to stand up and protect, that doesn't mean, this is the important thing. Because some of you men get all crooked and all cockeyed and get cocky and everything like that. That does not mean stand up when I'm a plum dog on food and not beating up on your head. And you said, when you gonna stand up for me? And when you know you have not, you exercise your option to cheat on her, and that's not what y'all agreed to, whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about that. I'm standing up for crap. But when are you going to really stand up for us? When are we going to say, enough is enough? I'm tired. This is one of the reasons why, in this case with Pastor Jamal and Kevin, and with him misspeaking, this is the problem that we see, why the bridge cannot be, why the men, they find alternate routes to spirituality. Why they have left the church and now the women are left to hold the church. Thank you, Rachel. That is very true. Kevin told our community the hard truth. And that is the other thing. Thank you for saying that, Rachel. What happened to the church telling the world the hard truth? Have we softened and became limp like a toilet paper, wet piece of toilet paper that we cannot tell the truth? Are we lying to our women in our community? Are we lying to the men because all we want to do is for them to be sheep going to the slaughter? The Muslim community has grown so much with black men. Correct. Why they do that? Because they have accountability. They have their things that are going on too. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that go inside the Muslim community that is not right, that things that happen. But it's about accountability. That's why we teach the gospel of responsibility over here. Be responsible. Oh boy, see, y'all going there. Now, please understand, this is not to start shooting at Pastor Jamal Bryant. But this is to say we need to do better. We need to do better. We got to step it up because this ain't cool. But I had to say something about this. Why the men are leaking? I ain't dealing with that. They'll come to church. What every man knows this one line. And now they're questioning that one line again now. Go to church back in the day, about 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. Go to church, you want to find a good woman. That was the line back in the day. Go to church, you want to find a good woman. You know, good woman is there. But now, baby, they're running away from the church. Some of these women are plumb crazy. Uh-oh, I done froze up. I don't know what happened. Let's see what happened. Camera done froze up. Don't know what happened, but here we go. All right, camera then froze up. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Camera then froze up. I love it. Always have a backup. Always have a contingency. Gotta have another plan. Don't know why. There we go. Boop, boop, back. I'm back in business. There you go. Love it. If you can see me, put a number 1 in the chat room. Let me know you guys can see me. Put a number 1 in the chat room. You can see me, hear me clearly now. Camera then froze up. You can see me, and I'm about to end this in a few seconds. And I'm telling the honest to God truth. I'm going to end it. You can see me, put it number 1. Thank you so much. Good, good, good. I think the camera ran hot, wherever the case may be. Good, good, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So I want to make sure we emphasize this very important thing. Very important thing. We got to do better. 1. Yes, Jamal Bryant has made, I wrote, and you watched it, or go back and watch the video. I put it up there of him apologizing this Sunday, or his form of apology of what he said, not so much what he said, but misspoken about Kevin Samuels. I ran the video, but I want to make sure we understand why a lot of black men are running away from the church. Why they say, well, there's no accountability, no responsibility. Why they have very ill feelings about the black church. Next thing I want to make sure I emphasize, I want to say thank you to the community at large for saying now we need to hold people accountable. The thing that would so bother people about Kevin Samuels was that he held people accountable. Held people accountable. He told them the truth, held them accountable. And sometimes when someone holds you accountable and tells you the truth and presents to you a mirror, you don't like what you see. And so what you do is you fight it. You go against it. That ain't me. That's not me. And so what happens is a lot of women and a lot of men had issues with that because it disturbed their peaceful, comfortable place of where they were at. That's the real issue. I am not, don't come over here. I'm not trying to be the next Kevin. Not going to do it. I am going to be the best LDA. When Jono's here, we're going to be the best Jono. This is the thinking class. We're going to be the best version of us. My question is, did he hold himself accountable? Uh-oh. Well, why are you stirring the pot? I know who you are, Rachel. She said, her question is, did Pastor Jamal Bryant hold himself accountable for the actions that he did? Well. Well, that's something he had to take up. I pray that he's listening. Speak loud and spare not, said the Lord. The truth does not care who it tells. Why are we sparing people's feelings instead of helping them improve their situation? I'm just saying that's a good, that's the truth. That's the truth. Because you think about it, when somebody tell you the truth about your situation, you got 2 things you're going to do. You're going to stay the same or you're going to do something different. When me and John will get in here, we talk behind the scenes like, oh man, what you did, this and this and that. We had to make some corrections, course corrections. I'm going in the wrong direction. And I think a lot of people don't want to make course corrections because it bother their feelings. They get into their feelings. With that being said, this is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. Go back and watch, share this video, like. If you have, if you have a question, super chat it, cash app it right quick about this. And I'm about to rock this music and I'm about to be out of here. I'm about to rock this music for real. And I want you to make sure you go back and watch the stream, share it with someone, like, comment, tell somebody, tell your mom and your cousin. Yes, yes. And that's the other thing. and I'm going to say this and I'm going to shoot this shot. Don't talk about you next while you was constantly talking about when nobody want you. You scared somebody going to see your mess. Let me just be quiet. I'm going to keep it to myself. Please understand, we all have to be accountable for what we say and what we do. All of us. I am included. Come back and you got that strength. You got that strength to say it. You should have that strength to apologize. And say, what I said was incorrect. I did not say that in the right intent, in the right motive. I was trying to get clout. Let's be very honest. So moving forward, the thinking classes, when spirituality and the game combines, it combines. You have the thinking class. And if you don't get it, it is your own as fault. With that being said, let me run the screensaver. Can run this screen right here. I'm out. Music, please. DJ, play the music, please. DJ, please, please play the music, please. Please, please help these people. We out of here. Peace and beer grease. Jono, man, you popped up, man. But it is, you know, I know you got work too. Let me blow this candle out. Let the beat drop. I hide.